Oh my goodness, the return of Prince Pretty, the undisputed era. Johnny Gargano's music is still trash. But I got a whole bunch of people with me on this panel, man. Let's go.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Ooh. Oh, DJ, thank the Lord.
Thank
DJ, I was
you.
getting very nervous.
Quick.
DJ, man. All right, y'all. Yo, all right, welcome everybody to the NXT AfterBuzz After Show. That's my music on in the background when I was like a young whippersnapper. I'm very, very happy to have this panel, man. This panel is very dark this evening, but it's all good, man. It's very chocolatey. I got the cocoa butter on. There's cocoa people on the panel. Cocoa Cena over here. Well, let me start to my far left. DJ extraordinaire, man. My guy, man. The New Yorker. Flo Beto.
What up, MT Burke?
What up, man? What's going on? And my girl next to him, man. Listen, SentItIn.com. Sent It In. Cocoa butter. Sent It In. I'm wearing it right now. Shout out to Sent It In right now. Yo, this joint's lit, yo. It smells like chocolate. I smell like a chocolate cookie for real. But it's my girl TK Trinidad. What's good?
What's up? Shout out to Barry Matt.
Yo, what up, Pop? What up? External Shockwave, you've been in the chat chilling for a while, so I do want to shout you out. What's going on, man? The Tashnik Moore, what's good? I appreciate you guys coming in as usual. I know we everyone knows the results beforehand, but it's good to like suspend disbelief for like 5 seconds because I don't know anything until I watch the show on Wednesday. Agreed. So it's really cool when you guys come in the chat and talk to us. You, what's good? Dan, what's good?
You said the other white guy that used to be here works for NXT. Johnny. Shout out to Johnny.
You mean the other white guy, Johnny, man?
Yeah.
The other one.
Yeah.
Was he the only white guy?
The other, these are the only,
The other.
yeah.
Oh, I guess you could carry Jim as, Jim is like,
Jim's
I forgot about Jim already.
well, I mean, he's a heel. Like, I'm considering like the white guy. Like, I consider Johnny's like the real white guy.
You see Jim Days on Monday?
Johnny, the guy you can take your kid. You meet your kids, man.
Yeah,
Johnny,
Jim
you bring him home.
Jim is, not.
Jim is like the bad boy. Always wears a little jacket, walking around like Johnny Cash, man.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Before we get started, I want to talk about a couple, just one thing. You know, former WWE wrestler and NXT broadcaster Percy Watson he's quit WWE, and I hate that word quit. I hate that word. That word has a negative connotation. He literally just resigned and left for different inventors. Quit is like implies that you gave up. That you just gave up. You don't want to do it no more. Everything just stopped. I'm like, no, some people just get a thing. They pursue a thing. He wants to pursue acting is what the report is. Shout out to Dave Metzger, but like it's like he wants to pursue acting. So I don't think he necessarily quit. He just went on to a different endeavor.
Here's how we know that it's not like a legit quit, meaning that they still talked about him after he left.
Right.
If they still talking about you after you leave on a broadcast, then you good. He can always come back. So that means he left on really ideal circumstances.
Flo, but what say you to not just to him leaving, what say you about any person that has a good spot, they're doing well, they're doing something they actually like to do, and they drop that to do something that they love and they're passionate about. What do you say about a person that does that?
You only got one life to live, man. I know we're all in the entertainment business, and we all have that opportunity where we're in a certain situation where we're doing something, but there's always that next level to switch things up. So if he didn't go for it and he wasted his prime years doing something that he thought coulda, woulda, shoulda, then what's the point, you know?
Yeah, I'm a firm believer. He's 37 years old. I'm a firm believer in when people don't understand, like a lot of people don't understand that kind of mentality because they're stuck in their little towns and they talk about people that pursue their goals. The person that goes and fails, literally now they know they went and failed.
Yeah.
The person that never does it, they could have been like, man, I could have did that, but I didn't do it.
I got ideas, bro.
I love the person that crashes and burns, man.
Yeah, but the thing is, you have to remember that he's been in films. Like, he was in The Hate You Give.
Yep.
Like, so he's been in films. So he has a little bit of a track record. So he did it the right way. Like, he set his ducks up. He probably has his agent. He has all that stuff. He's good. And guarantee if he comes back next week or next year and says, "Look, I want to come back," WWE will make room for him.
Yeah, I'm a firm.
Because WWE could be petty.
Yeah, they could be, but I'm a firm believer, and I like when people that can leave, they leave on good terms.
Yeah.
You don't always got to burn the building down. You ain't got to go walk out like Jerry Maguire all the time. You know what I mean? You know, I think it was amicable. There's still when they still speak about you, it's a good thing. He went to him, probably pulled somebody to the side, like, like, listen, man, this has like been a dream of mine forever. I got a couple things out there that actually that's popping a little bit. Yeah. I would love to come back in some capacity if y'all will have me, but I gotta go. They're probably like, best of luck in your future endeavors. Yeah. Throw the peace sign out. So best of luck to old Percy Watson. But
Showtime, Percy Watson.
He has a really black name. Right?
Yeah.
So black.
From like the 60s.
You can't say that without being like, like just old school, like Percy. But we open on the Undisputed Era, man. Y'all know how much I love the Undisputed Era, man. Johnny Gargano interrupts, then Riddle surprises them because of what happened last week. Talk to me about the Undisputed Era, Johnny Gargano's terrible music, and Matt Riddle surprised him. Flobo, what say you?
I was glad they were together. The UE are back together at full strength. I mean, if you're going to tease it and do it, just do it. But this whole drawn out thing was kind of weird. And it shows to me more than ever that Adam Cole carried that promo. As much as I love Johnny Gargano, and I know we hate Jim for hating on Johnny, Adam Cole was in the class by himself in that opening promo. And it totally exposed Johnny on that end. And he said okay one too many times. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
Matt Riddle with that entrance though, with the flip-flops.
That's my guy, man.
Man, like that's how you know that you're comfortable. Like you know he's comfortable with who he is. He's comfortable taking it up a notch. He's comfortable in the ring. He's just like
this is my guy.
That's how you. I mean, unless he's acting, he's a really good actor. But that looks like he's just living his best life.
I try to listen. I told you I don't usually gush over wrestlers. This is my. I ain't never. This is my guy, man.
I'd be so surprised if he's like an a-hole in person.
I will say that I love this floating bro today. I will give you that.
Right? Is he growing? Is he growing on you a smidgen?
Yeah, he's always growing on me.
I know what you're saying from when 3 weeks ago when we were talking about it. Like I know what you mean by. I don't think you don't want it to be like an Elias situation, do you?
I don't want to be stuck in that gimmick and to be like...
Yeah, it probably will be.
I guess the reference I have is the dark ages, the mid-2000s WWE, when they had Tyler Rex as a face, and they brought him out the surfer music, and he surfed, and he had a little hang 10, and his balance makes sure he's good on the ropes, and he never got out of that. They turned him heel, and he could not get out of being the surfer dude.
And what I was trying to convey, the messages to people that don't know why I have an affinity for this guy, not besides things he's been doing things I haven't seen from a powerhouse in a while, and coming in and doing and kind of staying true to his shtick, man. People don't know, man. His mom is ridiculous.
Okay.
His mom looks like she's 27 years old, man.
Oh, that would be.
No. I'm keeping it because LSU 2-time All-American gymnast, Olympic lifter, power lifter.
Yeah.
If you see them next to each other, right hand to God, they're like brother and sister.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my, bro, I was like, this dude's his mother's been training him since he was young, man.
Like a Ronda Rousey type thing.
Like food, nutrition, like this dude is, when you see his mom, you're like, that's his damn older sister.
Okay, yeah.
So like he has this athletic pedigree, and he has this woman behind him with this pedigree, and it's like one of those things where I'm like, this dude, hopefully he sticks on the right track and just stick to what he's doing. They have a plan for him. Like they clearly are featuring him more. He was out there. He has a match at TakeOver that has no implications at all. Just going to be a good match with two great wrestlers.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be very, very, very. I'm telling mom, be powerlifting, man. Still
crazy,
throwing up the weights, man.
Clanging and banging.
But with that being said, they teased that Regal teased that 4-team ladder match at TakeOver. Is this TakeOver just on its own?
Yeah, TakeOver 25.
Because it's like 25th. It was like so. What do you guys think, TK? What do you think about this match? What do you think comes out on top? Like, how do you like the implication of a ladder match as opposed to just like a fatal 4-way?
I like the ladder match. Who's in it again?
Street Profits, Forgotten
Sons, the Oni, Logan, and Birch.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. And who am I missing?
Chat raw, please. We're missing somebody. Who is the fourth person in there? But yeah, but they have that. It's for the the Raiders are not in that, or they in
no, they relinquished the title.
So they relinquished the title. So
no
it's
one can
be
beat us, bro.
Up for grabs. That's a smart way of getting them to retire without getting beat by somebody.
Yeah,
protect them on the main roster, I suppose.
I guess.
Who do you think has the early advantage? I thought it was going to be the Forgotten Sons, but after that great showing by the Street Profits, it's weird.
I'm sure they're not going to win it, but it seems very more now than ever the Street Profits are being presented. I won't say booked. They're being presented as a formidable tag team. It's their time. They're playing around with the sippy cups. I know how much you love that stuff. They're now being seen as a legitimate threat. Even if they may not win the titles, I would give it to the Forgotten Sons.
Undisputed Era.
Undisputed Era, duh.
Thanks, DJ.
Wow, yeah. It's such a Forest brand wine. I wouldn't forget about them.
Those are my
Matt
guys.
Riddle's mom and his wife look
right.
amazing.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Mom is shredded.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm seeing it here in the chat. I'm seeing it here on your laptop.
Yeah.
Right. crazy. It's crazy.
I was distracted. I was like, I need to look at it.
No, seriously, like just an athletic family, man. He's one of them. Like, people don't understand. Like when you're in a stable athletes, man, since birth, man, you have advantage that people don't have. When your mom's a power lifter and a gymnast, and you're growing up, like she like, yo, you gonna eat like this, you gonna train like this, you gonna run like this, you gonna do this.
Yeah, that begs the question: how old was Matt Riddle when he had his first Happy Meal? Like 18?
Like real talk,
Secret in college.
I wouldn't give my kids Happy Meals.
On the side,
it's poison.
It is poison. It's banging though. It's fire though. But like on the side, on the side. Listen, man, I was listening to a report where they said bottled water gonna give you cancer, man. Like, anything kill you, don't it, man? I swear, man. I can't even walk outside, man. Like I was like, this is poison. Like I walked outside, they said bottled water can kill you on the report. I'm like,
bottle.
damn. Yeah. It's the plastic bottle. I'm like, you know what? I'm just holding out my hands, man. Just drinking my hands. Let me just drink.
You're gonna walk into 7-Eleven with your hands open.
On a side note about like literally like just like really ruining children's lives, man. I knew this guy back in Maryland, man. He was like they're really big on like health and stuff like that, which you're supposed to be. I wouldn't live till I'm 100 years old. And they were like, yeah, you know, my kid goes trick or treating. I go, yeah, okay, cool. I was like, that's great. I said, when does he get the candy? He goes, oh, he doesn't get the candy.
He just does the act.
We take the candy. It's Evan. Trick or treating is about going trick or treating. I go, what?
You can't catch and release candy.
Yeah, you can.
No, you can't. Then don't go outside. Then you're wasting your time.
I go.
People catch and release fish. all the time.
I said, bro. Right on. Honestly, as a friend, I'm telling you right now, the child's hard work all night is the candy's the reward.
Yes,
I promise you, the knocking on the door saying trick or treat means nothing.
Exactly.
That is what you teach the child. Like I have a friend.
Disappointment?
The disappointment.
No, because there you attach candies and all that stuff with pleasure. That's what you teach her. Okay, if you're good, you're gonna give your child candy. My friend's child, she doesn't like we're at the grocery store, the guy offered her candy, she's like, no, I'm good. Yeah. And she's like 3.
You know, I get that, but that's a different thing. I didn't grow up being like, I'm gonna get candy and be good. What I'm trying to say is trick or treating was a cool thing.
Yes, exactly.
It was just cool.
Different thing.
Don't ruin the cool thing, man.
Exactly.
Take his candy away.
Easter egg hunt with celery sticks and stuff. That ain't right.
Where does the candy go? They said the trash is the trash.
The trash.
Yeah, because they don't attach the candy. It's not a thing.
Yo, heel TK in the house hates candy.
I love when parents take away good things from kids.
Hate candy, but I'm not gonna give candy to my children.
Candy is so good.
I know.
So we got this.
It's also a luxury.
This man, I never thought I'd hear somebody poo poo trick or treating.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's that Canada.
Upside down,
Canada nonsense. They got like one traffic light up there. They got barely running water.
Wow.
Canada. Y'all are weird.
Great
y'all
education system.
Y'all can drink when y'all 9.
Great
like it's weird there.
Y'all got served by the ton, but no candy.
Yeah. Yo, the only thing I give y'all props for is y'all universal healthcare. That's it. But
the Prime Minister's dope too. All right.
Drake's fire too. But listen, we got Sean Maluda versus Mansoor. Y'all see I'm killing time because y'all know this show wasn't that long. And I'm setting up the best part of the show. I'm building up. I'm building. It's a slow build. So Sean Maluda versus Mansoor.
Yeah.
The match that no one cared about. Not saying they were right and wrong for caring or not caring, but
it was a good intro. Meaning, this is what NXT is for.
That's what I was gonna say.
It's debuting athletes, that are not ready for the main roster. This is what NXT was, and it just so happens they have cameras there.
Sure.
So we might not see them for another couple months.
But they did want to see them work. You get a chance to work. You get the fans didn't know what to think because I felt like they thought it was coming out of nowhere.
Right.
Mm-hmm. But I like good wrestling. Mm-hmm. They can wrestle. What do you think, the football?
This match tonight was actually the most important match tonight, which sounds weird on the surface, but I will say this: after WrestleMania with the NXT call-ups, we were worried about where's their direction NXT is going into. Also, with the Performance Center being established in Europe and in the Middle East with the last Saudi Arabia tour, we're going to see these talents come from that part of the world. So we saw a product of that in Mansoor. His in-ring work was okay, had a good conditioning, and definitely has a finishing move that's way better than Elias's on the main roster. So there's a lot of things.
Move's nasty.
Yeah, it's pretty sick, right? So there's a lot of things you can pull from and say, hey, this kid has a bright future. Even Maluda has a bright future. The match itself in that second spot. That second segment's always that, match, and that's what we got. So
yeah, it's interesting. You're right about the in-ring work. I think he might have had a little bit of butterflies.
Yeah,
a little nervousness.
It's definitely if you do in-ring work in front of a crowd versus in front of a television, like in front of cameras.
It's true, man.
Like it's always different.
It's a different vibe. And
yeah,
you've been on the big stage. You've been a track star. You've been on the big stage. It's a little different. You do what you do, but you're like, damn, there's people in this.
There are people who choke.
Yeah,
it's true. And you're like, wait a minute. This is the same track, but now it's filled with people in the bleachers. bleachers, people that know you. It's a weird. People don't know what, man. The great athletes, man. People have no idea. They have a different type of gear, man. I used to always go through that little anxiety thing, and then I'd get over it like second quarter or whatever. But some people, man. It can define your entire performance.
Oh yeah, we had a couple practice champs.
I remember the great legendary Shaun White. To me, the greatest snowboarding final run in the history since I don't care. We had 10 billion years from now. It was the most clutch performance I've ever seen on an Olympic stage in my entire life. He literally could not have made any mistake. Had to do everything he had to do, land everything, and he got the gold medal in his last run as a. So this dude doesn't pressure is nothing to Shaun White.
Still.
He's been doing this since he could crawl. I'm like, that's clutch.
Yeah.
Like, so when I see that kind of perfection in athletes, man, and I see young athletes, Mansoor coming up and trying to make a name for himself and trying to do his thing, always cool to see. Yeah. But with that being said, man, the sweet scented smell of the scented in cocoa butter must mean it's TK's boudoir, man. Hey.
Oh, thank God Jim is not dancing.
Because that just throws everything off. Everybody in the chat gets all confused and delirious.
So definitely shout out to Velveteen Dream. He kind of hit that
the tassels,
and the hair. He like did a little press and go with the hair.
Joint? Fresh.
Definitely shout out to his. Well, I guess it's gonna be his. What is happening? So Prince Petty. So is he officially back on NXT?
But I know we get into that. But is he in the boudoir?
Yeah, he's in the boudoir for sure. Because it's just like now you have a storyline for Velveteen because we didn't have one necessarily last week. So this is good. And then definitely shout out to Candice LeRae. She's finally getting her chops, and hopefully you see her every week.
Yeah, man. Appreciate all you guys in the chat. Of course, thank you for letting us be the ESPN of TV talk. Everybody give us 5 stars on every major platform. Subscribe, like everything. AfterBuzz, I will come to your house and personally just click the subscribe button for you. But so like, yo, bro, you ain't subscribed? You ain't get a 5-star click. So,
just leave.
You're like, what? Do a selfie real quick. Yo,
no autographs.
Shout out to you, of course. Kyle Franklin in the chat. DJ Sip, of course. Zeno out, of course. Dan, what's good? TK's in the chat. What's good, girl? Charlene was really good. Jenna James, as usual. Oh, my man Johan Pena was really good. Bosa, the GM, was really, really good. So, my favorite part of the night, we get to the return of Prince Pretty Tyler Breeze. Let me tell you something, man. I love this guy. I was so disappointed that he did not get popping off, and the fans did not embrace him. Because he had the perfect shtick, the whole selfie era, the whole social media era. It was a perfect thing. It was lightning in a bottle, and they did not. They didn't embrace him. The mainstream audience point blank, did not embrace him. They did not. And we've been calling for it. I'm telling you, I'm taking all the credit. This whole panel, all of us on this panel, everybody in the Raw panel, we taking all the credit for this. We always come on here and we keep harking about what should they do. Why not bring back some of the OGs and wrestle and give great matches if you're not getting any work, if you're not doing anything, if you're sitting around just doing house shows. This dude's about to get a match at TakeOver. TakeOver 25.
Yeah.
That's the biggest match he's gonna have since he left NXT. You know what I mean? Like, let's be honest. So like, it's one of those things where I like that he came back. He's gonna take the L, unless they really are losing their mind and give him the North American title. But I think he's there to give a great storyline to Velveteen Dream and have a great match. And I think Breeze is like, yo, this is gonna be great. What say you guys about the return of Prince Pretty and what's going on?
What happened is the other part of Fandango, like, did he get injured?
The Breeze Dongo thing, whatever.
Yeah.
It was an injury on Fandango's part. I'm not sure if he's healthy.
He's had a few. He's had a few of those, man.
Okay, because I feel like even though they weren't popping mainstream, the whole Fashion Police thing was going really well.
Yeah.
And I think if there was an injury, we probably would see them not necessarily in the ring, but definitely doing backstage stuff.
Yeah, it was. It's one of those things where they're making a mountain out of a molehill. They were doing the best they could, what they got. I know people like that stuff. I don't personally. I think if you're not wrestling and you're not winning, I don't give a damn about your backstage segments. I just don't. But man. I do not care about your little skits and your little sketches and your little TV shows. Yes. I don't give. At the end of the day, you need to bust somebody in the ring. You need to win in the ring.
Yeah, but that's what we were talking about before the show started. Damn. There's people who. They're always striving towards success, meaning that if they get to a point and they're sitting on the bench,
a point of contentment.
The fact that they're in the NBA sitting on the bench is not good enough for them.
Absolutely not.
And they will burn everything down in order to get that. Then there's some people who are like, I'm sitting on the NBA bench.
I made it. Like, making high six figures or to $1 million.
My family's good. Like I'm good.
Yeah.
Right? Like we were talking about Alicia Fox. We were talking about other people who they're very consistent in just being that middle person. When they called up, they do it and then they just disappear.
I respect that. I don't when it gets bogged down to the whole. I guess I put it like this. I just like when I see great competitors, I like to see them wrestle. If they weren't good, I wouldn't care.
Right.
Like Fandango is really good. I remember when Triple H cut that promo and blamed the fans for why Fandango wasn't popping. He literally mentioned him by name. He's like, a great talent like Fandango. Yeah. I was from the heart saying he believed in his ability. So when I see guys with great ability, I like to see them wrestle. And I was ecstatic when I seen Tyler Breeze. He gonna get to wrestle a hell of a match against an up and coming competitor. Win, lose, or draw. They could steal the show, man. Yeah, they really could.
But then again, it's somebody who's like striving for greatness. They'll consider NXT like that's I've been there and done that. I'm not doing that.
That's so true. You're right. It's a mentality thing. Yeah. But what say
it's
you about?
It's an IC promotion.
Yeah. What's your?
You know what? The thing about Tyler Breeze is the 3 seconds he came out and you saw just his feet. You're just like, this guy's a star.
Straight up,
you
bro.
almost forgot about the stuff in the main roster. It was nice. It was just throwback.
Bro, the wife was on break. I was in there. I went crazy.
Yeah.
I was sitting there. I was like, is that Breeze? My wife was like, because she remembered, that's when she first started watching NXT. She's like, is that Tyler Breeze?
Yeah.
I said, yes.
And I just love NXT's like talent doing that. Like they'll make someone look like you're special, even though you haven't seen them in that ring in 3-4 years.
The crowd. The crowd
loved them. Yeah, it wasn't like, who is this? It wasn't like, boo.
And I just like that. I like that moment. Like I said, win, lose, or draw, it's going to be a great thing. And like it's one of those things where, especially when you meet a guy like Breeze a few years ago when he was just at NXT years back, and I meet him in person. He's in his class. I pull for people like that, man. Yeah. He's not like who you think he is. He's not his persona whatsoever. Okay. To me, which takes real ability. It's no disrespect to people like, I am my character. That's cool. But I like people that are able to be different than who they are. Right. That kind of acting. Like, Tyler Breeze is the most... He's like, I said, can we take a selfie? He's like, of course we can take a selfie. He's like so different. Yeah. But he's super kind and considerate. He's not that cocky guy that takes the selfies. He's just a nice guy. Yeah. And so I pull for people like that, so I was excited to see him. Everybody in the chat's tripping. Yeah, since the chat went on, it was like, Breeze. So like, I think we're excited to see a person come back. I don't know why they don't do that more. It's not necessarily a demotion.
Well, I mean, it depends on the person.
You're right, though. You're right.
You says Fandango is healthy. And she believes he's still training. And then also, too, you have to consider that a lot of these people have families. They don't live in Florida.
It's true.
So, they get a certain amount of days off. Like literally maybe 2 days of the week or something like that. I was talking to we were talking to Ariel Monroe about their schedule with Cedric. And it's just like...
They work. And they have a kid.
Right.
Their schedules are nuts.
So you have the choice of spending time with your family and doing stuff at your home because you haven't seen your home in a week. Right. Or you can, what I'm saying? If you had the option, you would, do the family thing. So it just kind of depends too on what's going on in the people's lives.
What would you be like, Flobo, if you were Fandango and you got the call up, you're not being utilized much, how would you feel? Would you be that guy that's like, y'all want to get on more? I like being on this roster. I like doing these random house shows. Sure. What kind of person would you be if you had the exact path that Fandango had?
I think it's kind of like a morphing thing. Because at first you're going to have a period of time and go, I'm on the main roster. This is WWE. This is what I came for. This is the thing. But after a while, if you're trained all your life to wrestle and you wrestle in training performance center and you're wrestling just to get people warm, you kind of miss that crowd, no matter how small the crowd is. Like I've done as a comedian, I've done stage shows that are 1,000 people large, and then I go and I do open mics. We have 2 or 3 people, but you can't go in front of a mirror and be like, well, yeah, I did my jokes today. Right, it's not the same feeling at all. You need that feedback to know that you are working on your craft, and props to that.
What about you, Tiki? I know what kind of person you are, but if you were Tyler Breeze and you got the same call up, but you're a female wrestler, where would you be at?
Yeah, it just really depends on your mentality. Like if you've been working for something for so long and you finally get to that mountaintop, the last thing you want to do is go back to something.
Are you satisfied? Or
but again, if you're in somewhere like a WWE where they have a lot of people in the locker room and you're not getting that time,
yes, they do.
It just really depends on where you are and the self-awareness and what your end goal is. Right. Because you can get because they're all considered superstars.
Right.
How many people want to be with WWE and they don't even get the chance because of medical issues and stuff like that, they'll never reach WWE.
We talk about this all the time about how as far as like what people do and how they think and their mentality. You're right. It's about what kind of person you are. I was watching the podcast and I forget what wrestler was talking, but it was amazing how everyone's like how AJ Styles signed a 5-year deal and people don't realize where he's at. AJ Styles has been busted. He has been going through the tables, flipping around.
Like the Kevin Hart of wrestling.
He really is. Seriously, going around New Japan, putting his head through tables. Y'all don't understand. People don't get like, he wants to chill, man. Yeah. He literally, exact quote was like, it's a PG show. I have kids that can watch the product. They can watch me. He goes,
and he could see his kids during the week.
That's what he said. He said that. He put, everyone's like, what 5-year deal? Because they know, you're missing the point. I think he's done after this.
Yeah, absolutely.
He'll be 46 years old.
Wow.
After the 5-year deal, he'll be 46 years old. And people don't understand what people's mentality in contentment is a very underrated thing. Yeah. He's like, I've done it all. What the hell would you want me to do?
Right. Yeah.
I've literally done everything in the world. Why does everyone think everybody want to like go to AEW? Everyone go here, like I got this 5-year deal. I'll be 46 years old. My kids will be this age. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm making a lot of money in WWE.
Right.
And people don't understand what when you making money putting your head through a table, but then you making 4 times as much not putting your head through a table. What that can do to a mentality. No, he's earned his stripes, man.
Right.
He earned his stripes. And
he can exit in a very good place too. I mean, some people don't have that opportunity.
They don't.
Yeah. They're chasing that. So I mean, he's in a very good place. But that's again, how many people at WWE could say that?
You're right. That's what I mean from the extreme to the low. Like there's different.
I mean, look at Titus. Like he's working, but we saw him for the first time in months since last year.
Actually, in the ring,
I think literally.
Oh, he does all the appearances, but like in the ring.
Yeah, in the ring, but even like TV time. I think the last time we saw him was like October or November or something like that.
Absolutely.
So it's just, but again, we see him on red carpets and WWE's talking about him. So that means they're in a good, even though
he's in a good place.
Yeah, even though hypothetically there's still the rumors that he pissed somebody off. Obviously, there's still a big group of people that are pulling for him because they're talking about the stuff that he's doing outside of the ring.
And I think, and trust me, his legacy, he's building his legacy in a different way.
Oh, for sure.
That stuff that he's doing, I'm telling you, man, my goodness.
Can I ask you a question, Evan, just for your perspective? Because NXT is kind of, it's a good example, but I don't think it's the most ideal example because there's a lot of like indie goodwill, right? So let's say you're on the undercard of Raw or SmackDown and you put in work, you're training, you're eating right, and then they say, hey, look, man, we don't have anything for you here, but we want you to be the face of NXT UK, for example. Do you make that jump with a brand that needs that help?
Yeah.
To get you to be the face of it. Are you personally the person who's like, I'm good?
I'd go because Manchester United is my favorite team. So.
All right. Well, who are the Premier League champions this year? It ain't United. It's not United.
Chill, bro. We'll talk about that later.
I say.
We too busy hanging our arms out or hanging up so many banners over the past 100 years.
Oh, yeah.
But that's neither
they're all dusty and crumpled now with the new stuff here. Let's go City.
Yo, chill. But y'all just been around Manchester City been popping for 5 seconds. I can't stand City fans.
We're popping out right now.
Y'all have one dude come in with a little bit of oil with a whole bunch of billions, and now y'all talking. But anyway, listen.
Go Chevrolet.
I cannot stand City fans. But anyway, listen. Shout out to Old Trafford. But listen. I'd go to UK because I'm on my mentality is like, if you really say you need me to help, if you believe me enough to be, wait a minute, you're saying I can be the guy at NXT UK, and I can you feel like I'm popular enough to like boost ratings and drive people over there? Yeah. Oh, I can do that.
Okay, yeah.
Because I don't mind being a good company man when I'm, especially if I'm on the come up, man.
Yeah, sure.
But you're right. It's a mentality and what kind of person you are.
Where you at?
Where you at? What are you willing to do?
Look at Jazz. Jazz was on Mae Young 2 seasons ago. She had the opportunity to get signed. She didn't get cleared medically. She came back. She trained, and now she's on NXT UK.
Yeah,
and she's been in the game forever,
grinding since I was younger, man. So you're right. It's all about where you're at, what you want to do, what you're willing to do. We get this great match. Candice LeRae, Reina Gonzalez, women's action is always good.
I think it's the first time we've seen Reina. She was from Mae Young as well.
Yep. And then she was in there. She was doing her thing. LeRae wins. She's on a hot streak. I think 3 weeks in a row. Baszler comes out. The Genius to the Sky. Io Shirai comes out. Kendo stick in hand. Don't ask me where she got it. Don't ask me where the hussy got it. But she got it, and she was swinging it around.
You say hussy.
Don't know where the hussy got it, but she was swinging it around, and she was hitting people in the head with the kendo stick, and I was feeling it. The faction came out. I hope they don't break them up. That'd be really cool if when Shayna goes up, they just go
I don't think
up.
they can't. I think they need to.
You know, just have her just beating up. You mean break them up?
No, don't
keep
don't
them together. Exactly, because that's what I'm worried about with the Undisputed
I don't think
Era.
we have really a female faction.
Like a legit faction that just beats up people, beats up other girls in the back.
Yeah. There was a Riot Squad, but they got broken up. So.
Yeah, but they weren't even.
On SmackDown they were.
Yes, so it was a good match. What do you say? You know, put it like this: to me, the women's future is just so bright all across the board. They have, to me, like when it comes to like legit star talent, I think they have more as far as, you know what I mean, like more women spread out through all the brands that are legitimate stars, like that are just need to get polished a little bit than the men. And that's why they're unsure with stuff like, because people like Candice LeRae, we're talking about Mia Yim, Io Shirai, and Shayna,
been in it for years.
Like Bianca Belair. We're talking about like the Casey, who is everyone's favorite, man. Who's the one, the adorable chick that comes out with the black chick with the comes out with the Mortal Kombat gear on?
Oh, Lacey
Lane.
Yeah, that's like the Dan Ramon like 2.0. You know what I mean? Like no, but there's so much great talent. So I like to see. So what do y'all think about this match? And what do you think about the future of these ladies?
I mean, it's great. I mean, the future, period. I mean, I'm not gonna give any spoilers, but you could see it throughout Game of Thrones.
Well, it's been like a week now, though. A week you better have seen the finale now.
Well, I'm just saying, you're seeing it throughout Game of Thrones. For my folks who are gonna go and see Aladdin, you're gonna see it in Aladdin. Like, you're seeing that prevalence of women in general in all facets. So it's nice to see it in wrestling as well, and not just a pretty face, because they're all pretty. And then you have the talent to back it up, and now you're giving them storylines. But again, it's one of those, it's the catch-22. It's like, we have so many great women, you know, they get stuck behind the locker room. So, like, you know...
so true.
Chelsea Green, she's supposed to be coming back in about a month or something like that.
I even forgot about her. So much talent, man.
Yeah, she was injured, but you know she's been in the game for a long period of time as well. So you know there's gonna be so much talent. The problem is they're gonna have the storyline so the talent can be showcased. Probably.
What about you, Flo?
Yeah, if tonight's any indication, I have high hopes, and we're working backwards, because you had Io Shirai coming out and she had her own weapon of choice.
Sure did.
Brought back brutality. That totally defies her stature, right? And it was Equalizer against an MMA group. Before that, you have Candice LeRae, who's in 2017, 2018 wasn't really doing much. She was running with Johnny Gargano. She was like Mrs. Gargano. Now she's actually have a chance to go out there and be on her own. I always confuse her intro with NXT UK's Candy Floss, but when she comes out, I'm like, Candice, that's where it is. But if anyone here, I have to give like the props to, it is Reina Gonzalez, because for someone her size and strength and her conditioning is the way it is now, she can pretty much go. Now she was on the short end of the stick today's match, but I think her and that next generation of crop, the one that saw the rookies that beat up a couple weeks ago, my girl Jessie Alaban, Swoon, those are going to be the future of that division. And so I'm hoping there's pretty much a good thing for all of them. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I'm Mac. What's up?
Wow. I don't know
it's a good segment, man. It's a very good segment. You should go back and watch that match.
Somebody please cut that part. He really did somebody please cut that and put that on.
That's what I said.
Who?
I put myself now.
Who are you talking
Jessie
about?
Alaban? The Jessie Show?
She was
Mae Young. Yeah, she was a Mae Young.
Oh, wait. Were you leading? I think that was last week. Jim was leading.
Jessie Alaban?
Yeah.
All I'm saying is I like all her posts.
She's like the girl next door.
I love happy to be here again.
But tall.
What is she? What's her ancestry.com?
What's her ancestry?
Well, you know.
I actually don't even know.
What is she?
She's not chocolate.
She's not chocolate?
No.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't. I'm trying to put a face in this. You swoon.
Yeah, I definitely
You
did.
swoon.
She's like Mae Young. You would know her.
First round, she lost to Conti.
Oh, yeah, she's cute. She's cute. She's cute.
Right then.
All right, she fit as a fiddle, too. Good for her.
Get them gains.
I mean, I don't know. You can handle all that, Flovo.
Thank you, Riggins, ESPN TV Talk.
I was floored, but I never. Maybe tears come out of my eyes. You swooned over this one, legit tears. But shout out to Jessie Allen. You said that chick like everybody was who she was. but anyway, no, I'm rocking. I'm gonna do my Google. I'm gonna do my homework. Dang, Jessie Allen. We get to the main event. Fish, Kyle O'Reilly versus my guy. We're talking about swooning. Matt Riddle and Johnny Gargano and his terrible music. That's my guy, man. Undisputed Era gets the dub, but they had a little bit of help, because that's why I like. This is why I like them to stay together. Right. They're always a threat to beat you, because they got another guy coming out of nowhere, swinging all kinds of stuff, doing all kinds of great finishing moves, backbreakers and whatnot. What do you think about this match? Like I said, we're getting to the point where that's a stupid question because they always burn it down, man. They do. I gotta change the question. What do you think about this match? Because main events, they cut up, man. That match was crazy. That's a classic, man.
Man, the match was definitely fish.
Just broken record, bro. Like, it's a classic. It's like they're always put on a good match.
Yeah. I mean, you have Matt Riddle's like the only one who's, I guess, the newbie. But then that speaks to everybody else because it meant that he looked good in that match. You know what I'm saying? So even though he's a newbie, you couldn't even tell that he was a newbie. And it was overall a great match. But they always put on great matches. The concern, like we've been saying every week, is when they do make that call up, will it be lost or will it be something? Because I would want them to do the call up where they're all together.
Sure. All right, me too. Absolutely.
That's we talked about this. Oh, that's Bay right there.
That's Bay.
But she all right though. She all right. She definitely got a little. Her ancestry.com is probably a little bit of intricacies in there or somewhere. But Jesse Alabama.
I agree. The main event was pretty dope. I said that I would give the man the match to Fish. I think it's the longest match I've seen him since his return.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, but he definitely was a setup man between, and also Matt Riddle too. As much as I always poo-poo on his character,
but he always has a couple good spots.
The matches were great. I mean, he went one too many off with the palm strikes, but we saw the floating bro. We saw him try to go for the bro. I mean, it was pretty much a complete total performance. That'd be the one match I'll pull from if I had to show somebody, this is what Matt Riddle can do in a tag match with different storylines happening with him.
Yeah, you're right about that. Like I said, we get back to the whole thing like we talked about this a few weeks ago about if you bring those guys up, please bring them up together.
Yeah.
They will drown, man. It's not about lack of ability. It's not a lack of ability. It's they will drown. They all look alike if you line them up to the mainstream fan that lines those guys up. If they did not have an Undisputed Era shirt on, you'd be like, who are these guys? Mainstream fans would be like, we don't know. You bring them all up as the Undisputed Era, man, and have to make an impact.
Yeah.
What annoys me the most about how they don't do this anymore, why do people remember when The Shield came out? Everybody hated The Shield. Then everybody started loving The Shield. The Shield would come out and put your favorite wrestler through a table and put their three fists up there, throw the peace sign out, and y'all be like, boo! But they would always get over. Yeah. And they force that faction down people's throat. This is a different kind of faction. And I think they do it a different way, and they wrestle a different way. I think it'd be great if you make them the new Shield, man. Damn. Yeah. Well, I'm the only one that thinks it's one of the best eras. They could be one of the best factions ever.
And it's also great, too, because you have somebody who comes up by themselves, right? You have the WWE Universe. They might not relate to that person.
Sure.
So they put that person off the side. Now you have almost like a boy band. You have 4 or 5 people,
It's
3
true.
people, whatever. Then somebody might see themselves in that one particular person, and they might not care about the other 2. But that at least gives everybody, now there's at least a spotlight on everybody. Because they are a group.
You're right, and it's the boy band factor. We know Adam Cole, he's the Justin Timberlake, he's the Michael Jackson of the group. We know he's the one that
we know he's going to break off eventually.
And if he does,
yeah.
But my thing about it is, why can't he just break off, but always have those guys floating around though?
Right.
Like he can still be solo. They kind of play with it when they will all have the gold. But when I see this match like I see tonight, and I watch there's a monkey wrench.
Right.
Like the match was teetering. All of a sudden, one of the cats from Undisputed Era, boom, boom, boom. Matt Riddle gets done. Yeah. And the crowd's like, damn, business is, what are you gonna do? Undisputed Era, I get so I just want to see those guys stick together. Don't break them up. Please don't break those guys up. I'm acting like they're gonna break them up. They haven't done it yet, but I'm dreading it, man.
Yeah,
I mean, they could pull a New Day and say they're not gonna break up.
I don't think that group would, though.
Can they?
I don't think that group would, though. Because if you're Adam Cole, he's still pretty young, too. Like, I mean,
how old is Adam Cole?
I think he's like 28.
Oh, he's in his 20s still.
I think, he's
Good
young.
for him,
but he
man.
can still, break off and do something. And,
Good for him.
And Roderick's a little older, but then, he's also, that's one of the best things for him, because he would totally disappear if he was on SmackDown.
Right. That's not, where we saying this, because, people like, they'll look what we're saying the wrong way. It's not about us. It's what would happen.
Sure.
What would happen.
Sure.
I'm telling you, I thought one of the hottest talents was Tyler Breeze. I thought one of the hottest talents was Ty Dillinger. I thought I could go on and people about hot talents.
Cruz.
Oh, Shinsuke Nakamura, anyone? Is for all his international. Where's Shinsuke? Y'all can't tell me where Shinsuke's going right now.
We haven't seen Shinsuke. Well, he's probably vacationing right now.
But I'm saying, I think there's a little bit more than that. That goes to my whole thing where I think, to me, you really do have to have grasp on English in WWE.
Fair.
That's just, and people don't like that, but that's reality. These Midwestern people, these places you go, and these upper state places you go, they're like,
No.
And I think that hurt him, man. I read this. It's these little things that hurt people, and his lack of being able to cut a strong promo in English hurt him. I'm just people don't. No one has to agree with this, but but I can go through foreign wrestlers. They do not get over unless they have a great manager.
Yeah, he did so well in NXT
great.
though. Yeah.
Well, no, I disagree. I like Shinsuke as a character, but he was definitely signed very, very late in his career. I loved his intro because they made it into an event when he came out.
Right,
to the ring.
It was an event.
But I can't think of a strong feud he had. He had Joe in NXT, Jinder Mahal and AJ. Those feuds were okay and serviceable, but not the ones that burned it down for someone of his caliber. I always felt like he was being held back.
Well, I mean,
he was being held
back. Once he got called up, they didn't do him. They did him a disservice.
Absolutely.
Just like they did Asuka a disservice. You know, like the fact that when they when they both got called up, like the fact that
both won the Rumble.
They didn't have the language barrier wasn't an issue because they were both over. So even if you gave them the belt for a period of time, like that, they could have rode that wave.
Oh, I agree with that.
And then start again.
If they pulled the trigger, I just think ultimately the lack of that connection with fans. I'm telling you, it ultimately hurts wrestlers, and that's not just about foreign speaking people. If you cannot connect with these, I'm just keeping it real. I've been around too many wrestling fans, and I see the crowd, and I know what they look like. There ain't a lot of me's walking around there, man.
You want people to look like you.
And I'm just saying, if that threatens people and people feel weird, and they're like, I don't like that person because I don't understand what's this Japanese tradition, and they get weird. I'm just letting people know how it is.
Not even Japanese. Not Shelton Benjamin.
Like, he's
in South Carolina.
You know what I'm talking. See, that just goes with my point.
Jinder Mahal was one. I mean, we see the patterns. So
it's a pattern. That's the best word. Pattern. Yeah,
we see the patterns with all of it.
But you're right. They had that moment. They had the moment,
and they poo-pooed on it. But we know why they did, because if you watch the Zeta Zhang interview, the first one, Women's Wrestling Weekly, the first one she's talking about, you watch that and they were planning on doing a whole Asian invasion, essentially WWE. So that's why you saw, not taking anything away from their talent, but that's why you saw, Asuka and everybody else coming over. Okay. And then the moment that, didn't happen, that's why John Cena's learning Mandarin. Okay. Like, there's a whole thing, and they didn't quite cross over. They're like, all right, cool. And then I think that was around the whole India thing, and Jinder Mahal won the belt. Absolutely. Conveniently.
Absolutely. Trust. Bo says in the chat was like, Vince has a problem with the language barrier, with people that can't grasp the language barrier. He has. I'm telling you, man, there's truth to what I'm saying, guys. I wish this wasn't true, but Vince is in the back thinking just like me, like, oh, bruh, you got to cut this promo, bruh.
Yeah, but that's where, education and, like, I mean, if you look at the Lucha House Party, they could take that and educate people on luchadors.
Sure.
I mean, you could just look at what they do for Black History Month. They say they show the same video for the last 5 years, the last 10 years. If they did put in a little bit more effort to educate the population, then you can appreciate the luchadors. Then you can appreciate them.
I love that.
Was it going to happen? Probably not.
I hope you're right about that, because I get it. I don't know if they have the patience to do that and patience to build with such great culture like the Japanese culture, the Mexican culture. Yeah, sure. Like we're talking about amazing cultures. Though I don't know if they have the patience to be like, this is why you should care about Shinsuke. Yeah. Or you shouldn't have a woman go undefeated all the way to WrestleMania and then take the L to Charlotte. You had 974,500 billion gazillion titles. Right. She should have had her win at WrestleMania. Right. They ruined that whole thing. So it's one of those things where I get really worried about people like going all the way back to what I'm talking about Undisputed Era and wrestlers just dying.
Yeah.
Sure.
I just get nervous, man.
Yeah. You said Asuka's still very much over. She is, but when they partner her up with Naomi, that was weird.
That's ridiculous. Yeah. No, and think about Asuka, because Asuka could cut like 6 words, perfection, and you believe it. Yeah. And even it's not about her speaking it well. She believes what she is saying. She's like, no one is ready for Asuka. I'm like, damn,
let's do it.
That's all you need to say.
That's it. Like when she was like, I'm gonna be WWE champion. No one's. She's like, you can't beat me. Right. Like that's what I'm talking about. When she says that, and then you give it to
Charlotte for what, the 6th time was it?
Yeah, but then she does that. She'll do that smirk and she'll look at you. That's you. When she used to cut the promo when she's like by the little poolside. Yo, that's why that works, man.
I had armchair booking ideas for Asuka. I won't even go into that because we're almost out of time. But
so give me final thoughts, man. We get around the table. Give me final thoughts.
Oh yeah, for sure. This episode of NXT says a lot about the future of the brand and where it's going to go. NXT Takeover 25, which is I think the sole takeover not attached to a pay-per-view, is coming up. Definitely doesn't look like one of the bigger ones on paper, but I can guarantee you this one here may have the best upside with Tyler Breeze coming back and definitely that 4-way title match. I'm excited for it.
So go ahead, TK.
Yeah, I was saying, like, I think we had talked about it maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, where it just felt like NXT, there was a switch where like the main roster had some better story ideas than NXT, where it was the opposite for a while. So it feels like they're revving up. Like, they're setting these storylines in play, especially with Tyler Breeze coming back, and giving, Velveteen something legitimate that you can kind of sink your teeth in. So I'm excited for it, and I'm excited even past the takeover what they're gonna do leading up to SummerSlam.
Yeah. So at this point in time, we got Riddle. What was it versus Roderick?
Roderick.
Then we got the fatal 4-way ladder match thingy. Then we got Gargano versus Cole. And then we got Breeze and Dream. So that's what they have slated right now.
And Io Shirai and
Shayna Baszler.
Yeah, but
that could be Shayna's L. Could be.
And I'm saying is, even though of all the takeovers this year, it's not attached to a big four, so you won't have like the international like.
This is very interesting.
But that's what I'm saying. I still think it might be an awesome takeover.
And I like that they're doing this. They're standing on its own. It's very interesting.
And Shayna could take the L and it won't be a big deal. She's so established.
That's what I
meaning, like, character-wise, she takes the L and then they proceed to beat up the winner the next NXT.
Yeah, Shayna, she has a pretty solid spot as far as where her character is, what it is. On, I think, any roster right now, if she got the call up and her whole crew came and just beat the brakes off of Becky Lynch, or she beat the brakes off Bayley, like Bayley would be the target, or well, they're both faces, but you'll be like, man, they just. Matter of fact, go to Monday night, beat one of them up, go to SmackDown, beat the other one up, and you'd be like, okay, Shayna Baszler just lost, but she's here,
shocking the system,
shocking the system, so to speak, come bringing it all back to Undisputed Era, man. Flobo, before we wrap this bad boy up, man, tell the lovely people at home where they can find you, man.
Yeah, man, on Twitter, @FloboBoys, on Instagram, @Flobito, and @Flobito.com.
If you want to eat cocoa butter, body scrubs, all that good stuff, you can go to centerincompany.com to get that. We also have candles, all that good stuff for you. We're also on Instagram, and you can find me on everything @TK Trinidad, as well as other TV shows, etc., etc.
Center in what?
Centerincompany.com.
Centerincompany.com for all y'all cocoa butter needs, man.
So your boy,
your boy Evan T. Mac, Instagram and Twitter. Flobo want that cocoa butter for Jesse Alabama.
It's a family show.
I'm gonna see. Listen, you tell yourself that.
Swoon is PG. All right.
Is it?
Rubbing cocoa butter on her arm is PG.
Is it?
They're gonna be fired, man.
But yo, Swoon had a couple layers to it.
I'm just saying.
Yo, Instagram and Twitter, man. FT Mac. Yo, I'll see y'all next week, man.
Ciao.
Swoon.
Me worldwide and you keeping it local. Don't blame me because your girl wanted a photo.
I'm so photogenic. Take a picture.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.